Good morning. My name is Alexandra Angarita Torres. I welcome you all today. We will have an open discussion on the topic of use of social medium in Chingers, my classmate, Elba Lucía, Irlis Esther, Carol Guevara, Rosalba Bernier, with will share their opinion with use. As we know, social networks are virtual communicates on the internet that bring together people who relate to each other, share information and common interests. Being popular is important for teenagers, which is why they spend hours behind the screen and often do not identify harmful content.
Um, okay, there, dear Alexandra, in my opinion, you are right with these hours that children and young people spend on the internet. I think about the use of social media in children. It is need the responsibility of parents because many times the children do not identify the content, and the families must also take care of the children.
I think, from my perspective, their partners, that social media or social network have essential security policies, but it's young people who often ignores security policies. That's why I think parents should take more care and be attentive to what their children do. And more if we're talking about meeting, exchange people, and learning all the kind of new things.
Okay, dear Liz, and Sam, the same as you, many times children and young people do not identify the contents that are on the internet where they show so hard or that cause stress and depression in them.
Of course, your opinion are valid. I think that young people and their parents should assume more responsibility in social media and the use of social media because young people neglect their studies and suffer from sleep disorder due to use excessive of the social media.
Yes, classmates. Another point that I would like to discuss is about the use of social media. Its influence on the academic performance of teenagers. I think that the use of social media can be it by young people for positive and negative things. I will mention some positive uses of social media. Share important moment with the family members. They can learn another language with internet pages. Among other things, I would like to hear your opinions, dear classmates.
Okay, dear Claudia Barnier, I think that the use of social networks is very important in education because it must be educated according to the needs of the context, and the use of technologies is very frequent in the labor and educational field. You said that the use of social networks has advantages and disadvantages, and that is true.
I very much support the idea of classmate Carol about educating children and young people according to the events in technology because technologies mm, favor learning. For example, if a school does not have a library, students and teachers could use the internet.
I think the same with regard to the use of social network, but I believe that teacher in a school should teach children about the correct use of social networks so that they put it to good use. In addition, I think young people should receive support after negative experience.
Okay, in my opinion, social media influence positively the academic way, performance of children and young people. The example mentioned by Rosalba is excellent because it is what happens in many schools around the world. If children and young people use social networks correctly, there will be none of trouble. But we know that teenagers are very curious and can be continued that way, but only with supervision.
Another point that I consider important is the role of parents in the use of social media. What do you think, dear classmates? Because I think that parents are the ones who should teach their children about the correct use of social media.
Um, Partner Rosalba, parents are responsible for the care of their children. Therefore, they shall know what their children do and what they don't in social networks.
In my opinion, parents should teach the correct use of social networks and tell their children that there are harmful content that social networks cause stress and depression.
I support your ideas. They are congress, which is we I think that if young people do not make correct use of the social network, Instagram, Facebook, among other social networks, they could get sick and damage their mental health.
Um, in my opinion, the Rosalba, the role of parents is super important. They are the ones who have the greatest responsibility with their parents are busy at work about their children. That is all. Thank you, dear classmate, for your participation.